Ah, it's more quite comfortable. That's we are standing right. So we are very beginning today to become the balance and the topic to all of you, and hope you all feel full of energy to be enjoyed because we have the very exciting event today from 3 p.m. and until 8 p.m. And don't leave the event until at the end of the event, okay? Today, I'm pleased to talk about the topic outside the blockchain. So what about the outside the blockchain? What are you gonna have? Right now, in Omanee, and you can see on our video before, we already have the mainnet. And we officially will launch by today to show you the world our mainnet with the platform will help you to declare own of kind of your token, own kind of your cryptocurrency, and of course for doing the crypto assets. But not only that, we're doing the identity verification blockchain, a new technology that will help you to be reduce own of border of technology, reduce own of challenge when you're doing a DApp, when you're doing an NFT game, and what we're gonna be, we will tell you and later on. But at first, let me introduce our panelist, Mr. Srinath. He will tell you interesting about his project.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Srinath Iyer. I currently serve as the Group CMO for DIFX. DIFX stands for Digital Financial Exchange, and it's a centralized exchange. So before I dig deep, let me quickly introduce my background. I am a telecom engineer with a master's in marketing. And essentially, I've been part of several e-commerce and retail businesses, but nothing quite hit me like the blockchain industry. So say late 2016, I started more on the protocol side, and here I am with DIFX, trying to revolutionize how the way exchanges work. So digital financial exchange is a centralized exchange, and what makes us extremely different is we accept and we do cross-asset trading. So the question is, what is cross-asset trading? So let me just give you a quick example. Say trading Bitcoin with gold, or Ethereum with, say, Apple stocks, Tesla stocks. So this is what is possible with digital financial exchange. So we have MT5. At the same time, we also have our own spot exchange. So we have tried to create this cross-asset using the platform. Another thing is, say, we all are in Dubai, we go to malls for shopping. That's like a common thing what people do in Dubai. So essentially, you won't go to Dubai Mall to buy like something, say, perfumes, or go to Mall of the Emirates to get like shoes or something. So what people prefer is I go to one mall, I have the time of my life, and try to get everything. And that's exactly what DIFX does. We are a one-stop solution, essentially, for traditional traders, as well as crypto traders as well. So we have built a platform on which people can do their crypto trading, at the same time traditional trading. But the most interesting part is they can do both, as the example I gave you. So we are currently live and functioning. We have gone live on September, and we have our web version, as well as we are live on Android and iOS as well. So I will recommend everyone to check us out, download the application. It's considered to be one of the simplest UI, and I would also like to say that we have also won the best new trading platform for 2021 as well. Thank you.
So you can see, thank you, Serena. Here we have investor, a lot of investor. So we have a DX exchange, decentralized exchange, very interesting. And nowadays, we not only have the centralized exchange, we also have the decentralized exchange. So our investor in here, why you take the time to download the app, the iOS, to enjoy it. And of course, our native coin will be here on in the blockchain exchange, and we will show you later on. And coming up, we will have the very interesting project in here right now. Mr. Ajit will be so.
Hi everyone, my name is Zahid Ahmed. I'm the CTO of Anchors of Mysteria. A little bit about myself to start off with. I was CTO of several tech startups before joining Anchors of Mysteria as a CTO. And I've been really fascinated about blockchain for the past 4 to 5 years, been working mainly on sidechains, rollups, and also the proof of stake concepts for Ethereum mainly. So let's talk deeply into Anchors of Mysteria. So Anchors of Mysteria is a play-to-earn decentralized game combining the magic of NFTs with DeFi. So there's a lot of games out there right now in the market, and you would be thinking, why Anchors of Mysteria? What makes it special is we are built on Polygon, and that gives us high transaction speed and low gas fees. Moreover, we're really focused on scalability to ensure that our users are having the best solution when it comes to the market, especially when it comes to games. Apart from that, we have 2 tokens. We're a dual token model, ANKT and Love Spirits. Our gameplay is mainly focused on play-to-earn model that has 2 main concepts. You can either earn using game, or you can earn it either by staking as a passive income method. So we also have staking that gives you access to leaderboards, that gives you a huge amount of ANKT in return, up to 30 million to 40 million for serious gamers. Or if you're just a passive person, you could just collect resources within the game. In terms of technology-wise, we have a huge team, over 200 people working on the tech here, and we're going IDO end of this month. So I'd appreciate if everyone would check us out sometime and participate as well. That's it. Thank you.
As you can see, we have very interesting project. It's NFT game, and nowadays you have NFT game not only the chains, but the place that you can earn a lot. When you play and you become the actor in there, and you become more investor, you have NFT. And of course, the NFT games, how it engagement with the user. That's a good story, right? Stable game, right? And interesting game for make the user will come up with us. So believe that, and of course we have very interesting projects, not only the games, but also platform that you will based on there to growing up with us, right? Thank you, Jade. And of course, we have the exchange, we have NFT game, and what else we have to bring to you? I will show you in our next coming panelist, Mr. Christine.
Thank you, Omanee, for invitation. It's a big pleasure. Actually, I'm COO and co-founder, and at the scale, we are building a cross-exchange infrastructure crypto trading solution with access both to CeFi and DeFi tools management at one window. Actually, we have multiple technologies that we are implementing. And later on, during this panel discussion, I will be happy to share to you and back to this. Yes. Yes. So thank you again. It's a big pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Christine. Christine will not tell you everything about her projects, her company, but I can tell you, if you want to get more money, more value, you need to have information, right? So her company, her project will provide you valuable information. When you a trader, when you investor, you need to have a good information. And Christine will help you to do this. So we have the company provide the good information. We have the NFT game, and we have the decentralized exchange. And what else we have in our panelists today? I'm pleased to show you Miss Lauren.
Thank you, Jake. It's a pleasure to be here. I represent StoreNest, which is a digital asset storage platform. My partners created StoreNest, unfortunately, after their mother passed away. And this is a classic tale. It's happened to more people than we probably realize. But they had a difficult time in consolidating all of their inheritable assets. And randomly, a couple of years later, one of their friends who was working at a bank saw and recognized their mother's name on one of the unclaimed bank accounts. and contacted my partners and said, you have these funds, these are waiting for you, these are part of your inheritable assets. And they realized then that this is actually a $500 billion growing problem. With unclaimed assets worldwide, that number specifically pertains to traditional asset classes like financial accounts or unclaimed life insurance policies. But now with the advent of all of these new digital businesses where like gaming platforms, NFT marketplaces, digital banks, cryptocurrency exchanges, this number grows exponentially every day. So StoreNest is a platform in which you can store your most important data, which will then be transferred to your loved ones after you're gone. We ensure essentially that nothing ever gets lost.
Very interesting. As you can see, nowadays the problem that how we can manage the digital assets and how we can transfer to another one. And StoreNet to show you the solution that you can help you to inherit the digital asset from the people to people and make sure it's scale. So own a project in here. You can have more information in our Omanee because we will show you the information of our partner in our website, and you can come to omanee.com.sg and you can for more information of our partner in here. So at first, and you can see all of the balance information and company. And we coming up the very interesting section that we have some question for our panelists to know more about the project, know more about the company, and of course you will show for our audience more information. For the first question, so now as crypto fair and world digital assets grow, investors will be looking for the assurance for their fund, how long the term value, and how the company can assist the customer. I think this question will be very suitable for Lauren, right? So Lauren, can you answer?
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. Of course, as I just mentioned, with the growing amount of value in the crypto sphere and in the digital asset class, StoreNest is here to ensure the retail investors that they can actually invest in the first place with all of these different types of platforms, having the peace of mind that whatever they put into these funds or these businesses will not be lost to the next generation. Of course, the funds and the platforms themselves have figured out a very secure way to maintain the security of the customers' funds.
Yes, correct.
While the customers are alive. And we trust our business partners in their security in order to do so. But typically, our partners have not thought of a solution for the final step of digital asset management, which is what we consider to be the transfer of value to the next generation. I mean, typically, if you're investing in crypto or even like in a gaming platform, you haven't shared your password with anybody else, even your spouse or your brother, let's say. But you wouldn't necessarily want to lose those assets once if something were to happen to you. So we partner with other digital businesses and offer them a solution, of course, to pass that on, but also even as a way to protect their passwords. If they forget their passwords while they're alive, then we offer them a solution of where else can they store such valuable, important information. So this is absolutely why we were invented and what we're trying to ensure customers of.
Thank you, Lauren. Very interesting answer. And you can see, right, how StoreNet can be assurance for the customer. We coming up, we have many questions in here, but I think it's very short time because we have many sections in our event right now. But the question I will coming up with you. So about the project, some project will more advantage than similar project. So how can we capture the most value from this market for data governance among others, and how the benefits with your customer? I think it's when the project have similar project in here right now, because in nowadays we have many kinds of NFT game, right? So I think I will ask Jahid how about your project? What advantage about project with other many NFT game?
Sure. So what makes us really different, I'm going to take the best example, is one of the popular NFT games, Axie Infinity. Pretty sure most of you guys must have heard about it. What makes it different from Axie Infinity, number one, is that Axie Infinity uses just one NFT to actually play to earn, which is their Axie, while we use a combination of our Ancot and an Orbs to make sure you have the right synergies to actually earn in the game. Moreover, you can not only just earn by playing battles, you can actually earn by also collecting resources from your land, which is another NFT. So that means if you're a serious gamer, you can go to play battles, and if you're not a serious gamer and you just want to earn by playing our game, you can just collect resources day on day and make money. So that's one of the main reasons we're different. Another way we're different is that we have seasonal leaderboards that gives you access to playing with ranked players. The seasonal leaderboards work on a staking mechanism, so you have to actually stake your tokens, that ANKT, to actually participate in the leaderboard. This actually builds up a huge prize pool for the winners and make the leaderboard really huge for that the gamers who really want to play big, they actually earn a huge amount of money in every season. Number three that makes us different is the fact that all Ancots are very mystical and have their own synergies in nature that are very, very linked to the land itself. So that actually gives the gameplay a more strategical point of view that you have to actually use a lot of strategy in order to play the game really well, making it a bit more complex in order to play the game compared to other games that you have to just click on a few buttons and play. So that's what makes a difference. In terms of your question of data governance, we actually are using a decentralized autonomous organization, also commonly known as a DAO. So the main Ancot token holders that are participating in an NFT game are part of our DAO. These DAO holders actually understand and play the game on a day-to-day basis, and they actually contribute more to the gameplay in the future run, making sure that the game is going towards the gameplay that the community wants. This is how we're addressing that as well.
Oh, thank you, Jay, for your interesting question, right? And you can see how advantage of Ancos with another NFT game. And why you don't try to play it after this event? For coming up, we have right now, we have a number. Almost 80% investor will focus on the price of the token in a very short time. But instead of understanding how the value of project, almost they focus in the very short time. But the most important thing that the value project did not just to focus. So can someone here will tell me what the benefits to hold the one kind of token for a long time? Why we need to be hold token for a long time? I think it's here we have the exchange, and he very well know the advantage with kinds of token and why we need to be more understanding a project. Srinath, can you answer?
Absolutely. Thanks for the question. So let's just understand one thing at DIFX. I mean, obviously there are different strategies how you go with, but our strategy was and always will be to build a robust ecosystem. So essentially we are highly tech focused, where we want to develop one of the best ecosystem for the users, stakeholders, shareholders, anyone for that reason, who it may be. So now to add value to that, why they need to hold a token. So essentially what we have done is we have our own token. It's called DIFX token. It's ERC20 based token, and essentially the main function is utility. As I said before, we are a cross asset trading platform. So we have our own spot exchange. At the same time, we have MT5 as well. So how this token essentially works is it works as a margin token on MT5. At the same time, it also works on the spot exchange, where it can cut up to 25% of the trading fees. So essentially, you create a utility. That's the reason why people tend to hold on to any token. Because if the token has no utility, no value, who's going to hold it? I'm not going to hold it for that reason. So now, talking about the next stages, how we are working. Obviously, we are a centralized exchange. And the best place for us is to list our token on our exchange. So we have essentially listed our token, and it was listed at, say, 24 cents, and we are currently somewhere around 30 cents already. And it's just been a couple of months, so we have already reached that stage. So now, again, as I emphasized on the robust ecosystem, so we are going through another series of penetration tests, which people call it security tests for that reason. Once we have all the results and once we are 100% sure with the ecosystem we have built, we are already in talks with one of the top exchanges based in Europe and other regions. And once we get the token listed on all these exchanges, this is but the best place to have like a token value. At the same time, we will tend to see a price rise. At the end of the day, we need to also know that it's a volatile market. So, but this is how we are going forward strategically.
Thank you, Sran. And you can see, right, the most important answer in here, that's the ecosystem who help in the token you have. When you hold the token, that should be help the ecosystem. We follow that accept your token we be doing in own project in there. Because if only token, you just J, it's not much value, right? You should have another projects. You have the project how can be the NFT game in there. You have project how can be stuck in there. You have project how to do user token at the transaction or the way to go together. So the most important thing when you hold the token, that you should be know about the project that have the good ecosystem following that or not. Thank you. Do anybody here, you all know NFT is a chain, right? So I don't know how many percent in investor in here, company in here, you implement NFT already in your project. And how do you think that when you implement NFT in your project? I think in here we have Christine. He have very good information. Many company implement NFT. Christine will tell you the answer. Christine?
Yes, it's a very interesting question because I'm sure that most of you know that Alibaba have been already launched an NFT platform to protect intellectual property rights. And before we heard about this news, we added to our roadmap and are going to implement the NFT technology to protect the IP for ready-made algo strategies that are adding to our marketplace. And I think it's extremely important to protect the transferring in both industries, financial and legal one, because the transferring of the rights is as important as transferring of funds. And this is the industry where NFTs are extremely important and very needful because it's a unique non-fungible token, as everybody knows. And it's very easy with the help of this technology to protect this transferring. That's why more and more platforms are going to use it, not only for digital art, but in this way as well. So as we are. Thank you for this question.
Thank you, Christine. And you can see very many advantages from NFT. And our company, we have welups where you can create NFTs easy than ever. We have smart contracts. We keep RC721 availability in our mainnet already. And after the event, we will launch it. And you will see no border NFTs in place, very easy. So we're coming up with the next question. Which do you think the more important between three things? Community, investor, and token price. What do you think the most important in here? And I think Trina. Yes, Sadiq?
Absolutely. For me, I mean, I am heading marketing for DIFX and nothing is better than the community. So the main reason is, let's just understand one thing. I came into the blockchain space in the year late 2016, and I have recently been introduced to NFTs as well this year. So one thing that I've noticed is one thing that drives the future that is going to take us there is the community. I'm like super active on Telegram, on Twitter, say now I have recently started using Discord as well. It's the beautiful ideas that people have, because at the end we need to understand it's the community who's going to use your product or say be a part of your ecosystem. So NFTs, let's just talk about NFTs as well. So we have artists, we have users. It adds more value to the stakeholders as well. And that's mainly because of the community, because the communities can directly communicate with the artists, and now with NFT games coming, obviously they can directly communicate with the game developers and back and forth, and that's how you're going to add value to anything. Only if you add value, there is going to be a need for your token. Only if there is a need for your token, that's only when you're going to see the bigger picture. So essentially, I feel it's the community, even for us, even though I represent a centralized exchange. It's community for us. We are well built when it comes to the MENA region and GCC as well. But we are just not limited to that. We have a specific group that functions in Bahasa, in Indonesia, and by end of this year, we will be having specific people for that reason. They'll be taking care of Arabic, Brazil. So when you talk about Brazil, it's going to cover Spanish and Portuguese. So the idea is only when you communicate in a specific language as well. That's only when you can have your storytelling have more effect on the marketing point of view. Or else if you just happen to speak in like English with Southeast region for that reason, or maybe say Portuguese or Spanish speaking countries, it's going to be difficult to exactly portray what you're trying to do. So for sure, it's going to be the community. Only once you have a very strong community, you're going to have token holders. At the same time, you're going to add value to your token. Thank you.
Thank you, Serena. And you can hear the answer, right? Serena talked, the most important here is community. The token price can be going down, going up, and can be changes. Investor also, someday they will invest on your project, but someday not. So Serena talked that the community is more important of three things. But I would like to hear another question from Christina. What do you think the most important here? Investor, maybe another side, right? Investor, community, and token price. Who the most important, you think?
Of course, community is first for everyone, for DeFi and CeFi solutions and platforms and products, because when you growing community, all of other things are adding at the moment, investors and token price. It's everything for all these points. Community is extremely important and solid base to be grow to all these parts. So that's of course community rules.
Thank you, Christine. And both of our panelists agree that community is more important. Omanee, we have big community in around the world. Not only in UAE, we also in India, Singapore, Philippines, many countries around the world. And of course, you are here. The project, we all have the community by yourself. Why we don't cooperate together to make the communities bigger? Because this time for us, when we have the big communities and we have more value of our projects. Thank you. So coming up, we have very interesting question from all. So I am very interested about your projects. And can you tell me about the interesting of your project, about the token in your project? What is more interesting with the customer? Jahid?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Yeah, I would like to be, because you have NFT game very interesting.
Yeah.
So I would like, tell me us more about NFT kinds and token kinds in your project that we know more, because
sure.
Maybe at the end of the day, I will download your game and we will play with you.
Yeah, sure. So in terms of NFTs, we have three main NFTs. That's land, ancots, and orbs. Lands are the lands of Mysteria. That's why you got ancots of Mysteria. And lands, ancots go there and collect resources, which then can be changed to LVS, which is one of our tokens, and you can exchange that on the marketplace. Also, the resources collected from the lands allow you to actually forge orbs that allow the ancots to power up and help you battle better. So that's why lands, ancots, and orbs are sort of our main three NFTs that we play with. apart from that, we also are planning to introduce consumables and appearance for our anchors, like glasses or maybe the Thanos arm or something like pretty cool like that, because consumables in the games are very important and a huge market as well. Other than that, you asked me about the tokens. We have the ANKT token and the LVS token. LVS token, you collect it from the resources, while ANKT is mainly more for in-game rewards that we allocated. So when you play the seasonal leaderboards, ANKT is rewarded to you when you be one of the top 100 in the leaderboard. This actually allows us to control the demand and supply, because we really don't want to supply too much of ANKT in the market. This allows ANKT's value to go up and also control the supply of ANKT, giving ANKT to only the top leaderboard contestants of the game. So yeah.
Thank you, Jace. And you can see, and in the IFC, you also have your out token, right? So do you think it's the audit for reviewing the smart contracts or reviewing the token? So it's important. Do you have any perform smart contracts reviewing or audit before?
Absolutely. It's very important, to be very honest. Not just the token, an entire security audit of what you're doing needs to be crucial, because at the end, the consumers are users. So we need to ensure that there are no drawbacks, because at the end, it's playing with money. So we need to be extremely careful with any sort of audit. So as I said, we have done our first round of security audit, and we are actually in the final phases, to be per se, with our security audit. And once we have the results, that's where we are going for all the exchange listings. So that's the strategic roadmap that we are following. So essentially, without the audit reports, we have made it a point internally that we won't be going full throttle with our product, because once we need to be extremely sure about the product and show proof as well that yes, these are all the audits, these are all the reports, these are all the vulnerabilities, these are all the vulnerabilities, how we have solved it. So only once we have gone through that, that's when we will be going for all our listing exchanges. So that's how we are functioning at DIFX.
Yeah, very excellent. And nowadays, seeing the NFTs very popular in nowadays. Lauren, you have digital assets? Very interesting. Nowadays, you can see NFT very popular, right?
Absolutely.
So do you have any plan for StoneX to increase in NFT in your project? Because you manage digital asset, right?
We don't have any plans at the moment, but you can check back in a few months. Not at the moment. We're here to support the other businesses who are creating these amazing digital assets and then providing them a way to transfer them. That's the sole purpose of our business, like I said, at the moment, but who knows, we could grow into our own marketplace ourselves. In fact, that's ultimately our vision, but as we say here in Arabia, shwe shwe. It means slowly, slowly.
Thank you, Lauren. But no worry, if you're gonna partnership together, we have platform to help you integrate.
I love it.
Okay, so before our audience can be do the question with our panelists, I have last question here. So why we build a project? The community feedbacks and demand is very important, right? So how do you think? Do you consider any feedback and demand from the community when they show you the idea to be improve your project or something? Do you be aware of this, or you receive the demand and feedback, and do you agree with this? I think it's Christine, you just agree that community is very important, right? So community demand, community feedback, which is important for your project? Do you think?
Yes, of course, community feedback is extremely important, but not only community feedback, but security is also very important. And that's why right after I went out from stealth mode, we have started needful audits for our smart contract, and they're going to announce it soon because we committed with tier 1 smart contract audit companies, and it's I think the same important and biggest important thing is security. We're talking every day about security in crypto. It's extremely important, much more important than community sometimes. And you know the big DeFi attacks this year and the previous ones. And every year we're getting more and more hacker attacks, and that's why pay much attention to security first. It doesn't matter are you retail or investor or founder, it's extremely important on all levels.
Thank you, Christine. So the community demand, community feedback is very important, but also the security more important, right? I have many questions in here with audience, but I'm sorry that the panelists not have much time. But you will see our panelists will be remain here, and you can have the question with our panelists at the gala dinner before we enjoy something. So thank you so much to our panelists for a very interesting topic today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Driggs. Thank you for the speakers. It was really an interesting panel.